हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणि विचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। वेलकम ऑल ऑफ यू for our morning Bhagavatam class. Today Balram Pro has Bhagavatam at Chopati temple, so we'll not have Sarada Darshini, we'll directly have Prabhupada purports. So we are discussing about this Aparada Tattva, the science of offenses. So what we discussed is that despite years of trying to chant the holy name and practitioners frequent experience a lack of internal change in their consciousness. So why is this happening? So we are hearing about the chanting and the glories and all so many things. But when it comes to the application part, means the result part, we are not able to see the result. Then we discussed that the main reason is offense act on as an energetic cloud blocking the immense potency and mercy of the holy name from descending into the heart. So the necessities of this, we have to try to resolve this. Resolving this requires anukirtanam, performing kirtan under the precise guidance of those who understand the rigorous science of identifying and stopping these offenses. That was the notes from the previous class which I took just before this. Yeah, this one I wanted to show. So we hear so many promises that holy name can bestow the highest gift of prema, love of God. But in reality, we see that despite of years of chanting, there is no freedom from material desires, no reprieve from karmic reactions. That means still we are having some level of karma that is affecting us. That's what we feel. And there is a blockade in spiritual emotions, not yet experiencing that bhava. Tears are not yet coming in the eyes. And also, sometimes revival of previous bad habits are also happening. So, if these symptoms are present, then we must look beyond the mechanical practice. The root cause is a systematic blockade. Why there is a blockade? So, that is our research. So, we'll go for the next slide. So, here we discussed what is that blockade. So, then we discussed this apa radha. Radha means the flow of the feeling of love. We get this word from Aradhana. Aradhana means to worship or to serve with love. That is Aradhana. Now, from that Aradhana word comes Radha. That means to serve with love. Now, Apa Radha means, Apa means it's a blockade. Apagata Radha Aparadha. It is blocking that flow of love. That means it's exactly opposite to love. That is the point. So, when what is the Aparadha means? It is which is displeasing the Lord, which is becoming displeasing the Lord, becoming detached from the holy name, and remaining ignorant of his nature. So, this is the first aspect. If it is with love, without offenses, then what happens? It is pleasing to the Lord. Whereas aparadha is displeasing. That means exactly opposite. There is because of offenses, there is detached, becoming detached to the holy name, and here attached to the holy name, understanding the nature, ignorant of one's own nature. So offense is not merely breaking a rule, it's adopting an attitude absolutely contrary to the flow of love. Okay, this also we discussed yesterday. And now the third thing is the holy name is actually the consciousness, no? It expands and it contrasts. So if you are doing offenses, then the consciousness is contracting. Contracted state, what happens? It hurts, there is defensiveness, there is withdrawal, and there is unhappiness. And if our consciousness expands, then there is generosity, bliss, kindness, and forgiveness. This is the shade of consciousness. Another thing we understood from these analogies, when the Lord perceives our negative energy or aggressions, that is offenses, he contracts his power within himself. And just as a tortoise puts its limbs into its shell when threatened, the power of the holy name is not gone. It has been intentionally withdrawn. So, as such, if we chant one time the holy name, we should get tears in eyes. But because we are not chanting in that state, that's why we are chanting in an offensive state. That's why the effect of the holy name is not coming on us. And our consciousness is going more and more contracted. That is the reason we get hurt, we become defensive, we are withdrawing, and we feel unhappiness. If we are unhappy, means the holy name is not affecting us. And there is all these qualities should also be there: generosity, bliss, kindness, and forgiveness. This also we discussed yesterday. Now, and now then we discuss the anatomy of unwanted traits. At what level they are. We have four types of anarthas. We are at the stage of anartha nivritti. Most of us, maybe some of them they crossed, they came to nishta, but many of us we are at anartha nivritti. So for them, there are four types of anarthas that are explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Tattva Brahma, Asat Trishna, Hridaya Daurbalya, and Aparada. So in four types of four types of anarthas, Tattva Brahma is at the level of intellect. There is a misunderstanding of spiritual truth. That is the Sambandha Jnana is lacking. We may think that I have Sambandha Jnana. No, there is still the Sambandha Jnana. Some aspects we still have problem. That's the reason we are stuck up. We will discuss that also, where we have Tattva Brahma happening. Then there is Asat Trishna, that is material desires we all accept. This is at the level of Manas. And Manas is emotional also at one level, desires are also there. I like, I don't like that. And there is Chitta, that is where there is Hridaya Daurbalya, weakness of heart. In spite of knowing they are wrong, we still do that activity. That is called Hridaya Daurbalya. And comes Aparada, which is much more subtler. They are the offenses. So this is the whole attitude is a problem here. That's why it is Aparadha. So to uproot the blockage, we cannot merely pune the mind or intelligence. We must target the core, the false ego. You see, that is the core of everything. That's how it rises. So we saw this also. And then we discussed how best defense is to offend. That is how we are offending others. What we are defending? We are defending our ego. If somebody comes and says, "Oh, you are a useless fellow," what is the first reaction? How am I useless fellow? How can I be useless fellow? You are useless fellow. You are this. You are. We are trying to defend ourselves. To defend ourselves, we start offending others. So what we are defending here, I told na, ego we want to defend. To defend ego, we commit aparadhas. Because what is the best way of the defending is offense. Our offensive nature is not always malicious intent. It is an automatic survival mechanism of false ego. That's why aparadhas are at the level of ego. To protect our ego only, we become offensive. That's why explore the inevitable infringement. That means exploiting or stepping in others' property rights to survive. Or subconscious. Defensive mindset clarifies into an offensive nature. So offense is the form of defense. You are understanding. If somebody is, oh, this fellow is wrong. Why he is wrong? Because I want to be right now. To make myself right, I have to make others wrong. That means to defend myself, I have to create that other person is wrong. Say somebody is convicted. He is convicted of some cheating. Now, what he will do? He will say, Arey, these people only behaved in such a way. They ill treated me. They were very malicious. They were very cunning. Because of that, I had to cheat them. So now, to make yourself right, you are trying to blame others. So I want to protect. I want to be right. Like um, anytime any fight happens na, in between some people, you can observe this phenomena next time. If two people are fighting in the train and sometimes they are fighting for some place and this that, there is a large argument. After the argument, you see some of them, they will try to discuss that issue. Like I say A had argument with B. Now A na, if both of them, this person will, after the whole fighting is over, he will, and there are some people watching, then he will discuss this issue with the people who are watching again. Not with the person whom he is fighting, and he is trying to explain his situation, and he will try to justify, see how I am right, and no, this person only did all the wrong and now he's fighting also. You have seen this phenomenon. We want to justify, and for then we'll say, see how rude he is. Did I do anything wrong? How misbehaved he did, how he did, how he did this. All these things he will try to act. Why he is, what he is doing? He's trying to blame. That is aparat. That means the offense is the best form of defense. It is all protection of ego only, aparadas. So bringing their subconscious mechanisms into conscious awareness weakens the samskara that forces defensive behavior. This is the solution part that is explained. I will not explain it now. We'll come to it in detail later because otherwise it will take another full section. But at least this much we understand. We are having this offensive mentality because of ego. Now we see the 10 offenses. The root is aham mamadi paramo. That is the false ego is the root of all offenses. Why? The ego is the cause, that is the root, that is the 10th offense. When we identify maintain material attachments. Because of which what happens? Envy comes. Inability to tolerate the success of others and many other things also. Envy has many aspects. And because of which there is fault finding, and then satam ninda, the blaspheming the devotees. That is one aspect of envy, is we are not able to tolerate others' success, or if somebody is blocking our success or any of the other things also, that is all envy. Will come to that point, and that is the cause of fault finding. Anytime we are finding fault in others, we should know it is envy only. That is for clear. If he is not connected to us, that means he is not your subordinate, whom for whom you are responsible, and we are finding faults in them, that means we should know we have envy. The 10 offenses are not 10 separate rules, they are a single offensive mindset. We discussed this also. Offense is a mindset, it is not just the activity. That's why the punishment is different. We discussed this like mother, if the child is breaking things or child is damaging certain things, mother can purchase, she has so much money, she can purchase all the things which are damaged, which are broken. That's not a big deal for her. But she punishes the child for that attitude. He want the child to be more responsible. He want the child to be careful. That is what she want to change in the child, not the object. Array 150 rupees glass is there. Why so much big scene? Why punishment? She has crores of rupees. No. Still she punishes not for the 150 rupees. She is punishing to change the attitude of the child. Like that. So similarly here, when the external action is there, array what I did, just I spoke, na. I just told about this devotee he did wrong. I told to another devotee. I I just sat and heard for 1 hour about the wrong things did by a devotee, and he did. It is not wrong also. He really did all the things, and I heard only. So it is not hearing or speaking about others. It is the envy that we have in the heart. It is because of the false ego we have in the heart. That is the problem. That should be cured. No, you are hearing about him negative for 1 hour, or you are speaking about him to 10 people about his negative activity. That is offense because we have envy in the heart. So that is exactly opposite to what? Love. Apagata Radha. So it is going in a wrong direction. We want to serve them, but we are, instead of serving them, we are going in a wrong direction. We are giving pain to them. So that is the root cause. So here, from here onwards, from beginning, it is all connected. See, we said false ego is aparadha. Then false ego is making offense is the best. We want to protect our false ego, and the false ego is causing envy, and because of which all other fault finding everything is coming. So 10th offense is the root of all offenses. Then we saw the gravest offense, the that is for invalid criticism. We are criticizing what all the ways the criticism is happening, what all the ways the first offense is happening is we are sins committed before becoming a devotee. So that is discussed. Okay, he did this, he did this. And then residual trials. Habits remain from a previous sinful life, or unwillingly committed sins, mistakes during practice, or social background, nationality, and all. The holy name, and the most important thing is holy name is a person. And person means he will act with proper, if we are respectful only. We discussed the example Prabhupada gives. If you are going to please somebody, love me, love my dog. That is what Prabhupada says. If you are beating the dog and the owner you want to get something for him, you will be upset. Arey, why did you beat my dog? I have not nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with you. Why? Because we offended the dog, he became offended. So similarly, we offend the devotee. Holy name says, I have nothing to do with you. I am not going to come. I am just in my own thing. So that is what next we'll discuss. But here the discussion is that the holy name takes offense to their criticism because it causes him great pain. So this is called pashanda, materialistic nature. So the so another difficulty is their opportunity progress, but a test for our own envy also. So somebody is going through some difficulty, we should know that okay, he did wrong. Now he will get purified, rectified. Krishna will take care of him. But I should not become envious of him. That is the point here. Now we will see that the all the offenses will just, so the root we have understood. So there are four types of offenses towards devotees: material designation, sins committed before becoming a devotee, unwillingness. Now, any of this is actually pashanda, extremely pashandata. That means extremely offensive. Now, what is the standards of a sadhu? Okay, we have one more. This one we'll discuss that. Lack of faith. All these 10 offenses, na, they are coming. One main reason is ashraddha. If we are not attentive, that means we are not respectful. And then we are dealing with somebody in that disrespectful way, he will not reciprocate. And we can see for ourselves also. If somebody is very disrespectful with us, we don't want to deal with them anymore. We say, "Arey, first you give some respect." So when we are inattentive, that means we are not respecting that person. The holy name is a person. We are not respecting him. He will not respond. And then all other things also is because of this. Exploiting the process, committing sins on the strength of the holy name. That is seventh one. Equating the holy name to ordinary pious activities. Eighth one. Devaluating the source, considering the name material, blaspheming Vedic scriptures. This we all will come back to all of them, but I am telling you are seeing how from ashraddha, lack of faith, all these things are coming. Devaluating the agent, that is good. So all the manifestations stream from treating the transcendental as mundane and inability to look beyond our own material paradigm. This always is a problem for us. We are calculating. See, with logic, we cannot understand material thing, spiritual thing, because spiritual things are beyond logic. Spiritual things are different. That's why when questions are asked, now people ask how this, how this, how this. Because spiritual things will not get a logical answer. It can happen. Why Ajamila got liberated just by chanting one time? No cause, no reason. That is spiritual thing. It is not going to fit in our calculations, but still we can understand. Even though it is beyond logic, still we can understand spiritual things. So many things like that only for us. We have to, because this is a spiritual thing, material laws does not apply. Causal ocean. This creation is below the causal ocean. There is cause and effect. But in spirituality, there is no cause and effect. Because of this, this should happen. Because of this should happen. It is nothing like that. Krishna can give anybody anytime anything. What is the logic? No logic, because it is beyond logic. Your understanding. If you understand, if you don't understand, then we understand. That is the point. If you didn't understand and you understand that I cannot understand, then we understand. So this is beyond logic. Why we are having the inability to look beyond our own material paradigm? That is a problem. We look. And unfortunately, the education system is na, we are learning in a scientific way, logical way. Whereas Vedic way of learning, na, they don't use much of these things. For them, it went little easy. Of course, there is also nyaya there. There is also logic, but there is some level of faith even in before modern, before industrial revolution. Also in Europe and all, there was that faith is there. That aspect which is beyond logic, people are able to accept it. So here we should know the difference. There is one thing. And then we discuss the paradox of mercy and sensitivity. So even holy name, if we say it is very sensitive, it does not have any rules. And sorry, holy name is very, very merciful. Holy name is merciful, and even if you don't pronounce it properly, does not need any rules and regulations for chanting anytime, anywhere, any place. But whereas Vedic mantras, na, there are particular meter, particular place, particular person, and no, there is all these rules and regulations are there. Then only the mantra has effect. We know the story of Toshta. He chanted Indra Shatro, and instead of a son who can kill Indra, he got a son who will be killed by Indra. Just one pronunciation, everything gone wrong. But when it comes to the holy name, it is not like that. So they are called mantras. This is called nama. Nama is a personal name of Lord, whereas mantras are official names. So official name means all the rules are there, whereas mantra means not so much. So it is very, very merciful. There is no rules, hard and fast rules, and even when it comes to mantras, now only Brahmanas can chant or upper caste, they only can be chanted when they need bija mantras, they need Upanayana Samskara, so, they need. So all these things are there. The mantra diksha should be there, then only it has effect. When it comes to Nama, all these things don't apply. That's why we can say that the holy name is very merciful. It grants total concession to mechanical imperfections. Like we discussed in China, they cannot pronounce Ram. Lam is also sufficient. Hale Lam also is sufficient. You get all the mercy. But the holy name does not respond to what all things it does not pashandata, independent enjoyment, egocentricity, and that is what is happening for us in life. Our priorities are more than Guru, Krishna, and Vaishnavas. We holy name is extremely sensitive to our desires to place our interest above our desire to place our interest above Guru, Vaishnavas, and Krishna. As long as we have our these things as priority. When a person's give priority, my life is only for chanting the holy name and Bhagavatam, immediately aparadas are nullified very fast. If his priority is the family and other things, then we may ask, Prabhuji, what about family? Yes, that is the duty Krishna gave you to do, but that is not the primary purpose of life. Family is not the primary. Atato Brahma Jignasa is the purpose of life. आहार निद्रा भयमैथुनं च समन्वयमेतत् पशुहिरण धर्मो हि तेऽथ अधिको विशेष. That is the purpose of life. So we have to give that as the priority, and we have to make our mind completely clear. Okay, this is what I am meant for, to chant the holy name and to understand Bhagavatam. If somebody gives this as the priority, and this three, independent enjoyment, egocentricity, pashandata, then only it will get nullified and the holy name will have effect. Otherwise, you can see it is blocking. The stones are falling. It is not, they are not going inside and they are not converting. So we are failing the internal filter, not the mechanical one, right? Until we come to this, where we give that as the my purpose of life is chanting, my purpose of life is Bhagavatam, and I have to do my household responsibilities and whatever responsibilities that are given to me properly because Krishna gave it and Krishna want it in that way. I will do it. I want to please Krishna. But ultimately, it is not that. Ultimately, my main purpose is that my main purpose is to chant the holy name. If that is not there, then it's a problem. These are all from Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and I am speaking from the seminars given by Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj in Russian. So if you search in English, you will not get it. If you know Russian, you can hear it. So this is the material I am preparing from Maharaj. And then we have what is the diagnostic test of the heart? So when we are not having offenses, I told na, when this is when you give priority to holy name, that is the purpose of life. Immediately we can get these things in our heart. What is that? The expanded and softened heart. That is there is no contracted and offensive heart. It's an expanded one. We get shanti, that forgiveness easily and cessation of material desires happen. Avyartha kalatam, full time fully utilized in the service of Lord will happen. Nama Gana Sadaruchi, the constant happiness in chanting and hearing will happen. And Pratishta Pritistat Vasati Stale, affinity for holy places. Also Asha Bandha, unwavering hope for mercy despite feeling unqualified. Samatkanta, intense eagerness to serve. And Mana Shunyata, zero desire for personal gratification. Also virakti, detachment from material things. So these are the symptoms, 8 symptoms that will happen in an expanded. So just getting tears and other things that can be imitated, but these things cannot be imitated. I was telling na, that here when people die, they call people for crying. They come and nicely cry to create the environment. They are paid. They'll come and even though they don't know that person, still there are people they will come and very nicely cry. Oh, how did you live? How can we survive this, that? And the whole family will get that mood of that lamentation, that bhava they can experience of separation from that person. Now, these people who come for crying, na, they don't have any connection with that person, but they can very, very full enthusiastically they cry. How are they crying? Because these are external things you can imitate. Tears are flowing, and no, they are making that everything will come, and no, body moves and they are falling and they are getting up and whatnot they will do. We'll be surprised. My God, really, how much sad they are. No, it is all external, no connection with it. They're paid for crying. So it may be little uh, interesting. And okay, they are called Rudhali. They are specifically paid for crying, yes. so, so now, why I am telling is because this is an external thing that can be imitated. So we were discussing this also. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Channavatara? Because to imitate other forms of Krishna is difficult. Rama, Krishna, Narsimha. But to imitate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as God, I can become, many people will become God like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's why the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has kept it a secret avatar. It is not a public. If it is public and it is properly given in Shastras, see, Krishna will come and he will start crying and dancing, and immediately many will come and appear and they will also start dancing and crying, and they can show the Shastric evidence. See, crying and dancing. I am only the incarnation. Everybody will become incarnation. It has to be hidden, and simultaneously it should be revealed also. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Channa Avatar. You cannot make it public. This type of avatars it is more dangerous, especially Kali Yuga. Every street will have one Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearing if it is a public avatar. That's why it kept secret, because this can be imitated. But there are internal things that cannot be imitated. And what is that? These are the things. And that is the point here. Then we discuss here comes the solution part. These all things yesterday we discussed. So revision happened till now. Now we'll come to today's section. So this is the architecture of humility. Humility at 3 levels: bodily level, speech, and heart. Now we hear this is the solution for the problems. The most important solution for the aparadhas is this humility, because the sloka itself is explaining Trinadapi Sunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadar. We want to continuously chant the holy name. So here is both the means and the goal. Trinadapi Sunichena verse is not only the means, it is a goal also. We meticulously practice the mechanics of humility to invite the actual descent of perfect humility. Your understanding. We are meticulously practicing the mechanics of humility. For what? To get actual humility. So, with the body, how should we practice? Physically bow down to Guru, Parampara, and other devotees. Every time we have to offer obeisances. Raghunath Das Goswami, 2000 obeisances every day. To deities and to Govardhan, to Vaishnavas, again and again, they are offering obeisances. So it is a humility at the level of body. So one person, He was explaining. He never went to church, and then something very wrong went very wrong in his life, and then he thought, okay, let me go to the church and pray to Lord. So he went, and he was telling that it was so difficult for me to bow down for the first time. He said, my body is not bending, not that he has some arthritis problem or not. No, the humility was not there in the body. How can I bow down to somebody else? So it didn't happen. But after that first time when he bowed down, then later on he became a devotee also. But he was telling that, "Arey, it was so tough to bow down with the body." So there is a humility. And we don't want, sometimes we come to temple, while entering into temple hall, we should offer obeisances. While going out of temple hall, we should offer obeisances. Whenever we see any senior devotee, we have to offer obeisances. In front of deities, we have to offer obeisances. When deities curtain is closed, we have to offer obeisances. That curtain is open, we have to offer obeisances. So all the time we have to keep on offering obeisances, and more we offer, more good it is for the body. So that's what we meticulously practice the mechanics of humility to invite the actual descent of perfect humility. You're understanding why we have to bow down so many times in a day. Now, this is humility with the body. See, why we are discussing this is a solution for our problems. The main solution is humility. If this is there, now will not commit offenses. That's why we hear from Radhanath Maharaj, Srinadapi Sunichena, Trinadapi Sunichena, because he knows if we practice this mantra, ultimately then we will be able to overcome our offenses and we can get the taste, and continuously we can chant the holy name. We can experience the mercy of the holy name only because of this verse. That's why they are so empowered, because they are experiencing it. Now the problem here is, and if you attend Burjan Pro seminars and all, they will give initially some techniques, and the last part of the discussion, even Burjan Pro also gives the same solution. He says, this is a solution by our Acharyas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself gave this solution. Ultimately, it is that attitude we have to change. See, external methods we have for chanting. Okay, if you are feeling sleepy, stand and chant. If you are getting distracted, you read the mantra. If you are doing this, if this, all the things you are giving at what level? Here we also you saw the uh, structure, na? At the level of intelligence, mind, and chitta. All these things we are giving. Hridaya, Daurbalya, all these levels. But this Trinada Pisunijana is affecting the whole root only. The ego part only it is affecting. That's why it has maximum effect than any other thing. This Trinada Pisunija is directly affecting the ego part, and which is the root cause of all aparadas. Clear? Now, with the speech is express gratitude, actually glorify the Guru, Krishna, devotees, and even non devotees also. We should have appreciation. Fill the ears, tongue with Vaishnava Stuti to replace the poison of Ninda. This is the second thing. We should come out of our conditioning of speaking ill about others. See, we are careful with devotees who have some malicious habits or some things, but we don't speak ill about them. We should not be liking to want to ill about them. This is the important thing. This is at the level of speech, and at the level of heart. Feel deep, continuous remorse for being far from the standard. So, unless we ask forgiveness, as soon as we know that I have done something wrong, we should immediately ask forgiveness. We should not keep our ego. So, one devotee, I just spoke something, and that devotee got offended. And I also felt, Arey, what did I say? I didn't say much. I will also not going to budge. I am not going to ask any forgiveness. I only told the truth. Still affected me. And then I was thinking, things are not going, my chanting is not going, my chanting is not going well. I was thinking why it is happening. Then I remembered, Ray, I offended. Means the devotee got offended because of my behavior. One is I directly, then I called, I didn't, that devotee was not talking. Then I had to tell somebody who the devotee knows, and I told, please inform the devotee to forgive me because the I committed some offenses. And interestingly, the devotee was still still remembering after many months. The devotee was remembering, yes, yes, you told this to me. And then I thought, my God, it's such a dangerous thing. Now it got settled. So the point is, we will not know. That's why every day we have to, and if you know something you have committed, we have to immediately ask. If your chanting is not working, you have to clarify. So send message to somebody whom you felt they got offended because of our behavior. No problem. We should ask them, become humble, attack our ego. There is no loss, you know, in asking forgiveness. Like I was telling about the traffic police person. Every time I have fight with them. And when I understood that he is not wrong, immediately first thing what happened, I had to go and ask forgiveness from him. Now I offended. Now what will block? My ego will block. Arey, what is there? Is not a devotee also. Why I should ask? No, he chanted the holy name. He is also trying to serve devotees and you want to have good Rath Yatra. So it is safe that we go and ask forgiveness. And fortunately, he was there. I asked forgiveness. Otherwise, it would be very complicated. So if we are humble, it saves us, and slowly, slowly, we can come out of it. And then here the most. So here all the things are connected where ego only. Trinadab Sinuch is attacking what ego only. So orbital shift of consciousness. First is we are prioritizing ourselves. I, mine, everything is I centered. Then priority is the sadhu centered. That is the mandatory bridge. That means our guru should be the center of our life. We should do things for him. Then comes the Krishna centered. So now you see the orbits Krishna centered, and sadhu is revolving around uh, Krishna, and after that practitioner. We are all that. So now first our orbit. You see this orbit I am showing here. It is practitioner is revolving your false ego. Now the practitioner revolving around sadhu. Now both sadhu and practitioner both are revolving around Krishna. So egocentric is the current state. So this is Raghunath Das Goswami's Manasiksha. He tells it is the dog eating prostitute of enjoyment and fame dancing in the heart. That's how very grossly compares. And then he says sadhu centric is placing the sadhu's desire, that is guru's desires, guru's opinions and feelings at the center, abandoning our own conditions. Then comes the Krishna centric. Bhakti Devi is pleased by our service to the sadhus and bestows mercy. So the takeaway, directly jumping from state 1 to state 3 is mechanically impossible. Proper association, sadhusanga is a common solution for all offenses. So this is one of the important things. The common solution for all offenses, we have to be in the association of devotees. They will help us to come out of it. And the paradigm shift is in practice, the mechanical approach and conductive approach. So trying to chant better in a mechanic means I told na we are given all the techniques to chant better. So relying on sheer efforts, vocal mechanics, and the intellectual strain to reach the holy name. And no, we read all the books to improve our chanting, japa reforms. But the most important reform is what? Creating the condition, cultivating humility, remorse, and sadhu seva, as so the holy name chooses to descend and settle into the consciousness. The holy name should come, and when the holy name will choose to come, when we do these things, when we are trying to cultivate humility, we discuss cultivating humility with your body, mind, and at the heart, right? Body, speech, and heart. Now Another thing is remorse. This very difficult, but we have to feel remorse that oh, I didn't chant properly today. My chanting is not happening, and I should feel bad for it. If I am not feeling bad, it will not improve tomorrow. That means internally only I don't care only whether chanting is happening or not nicely. Then why the holy name will respond if I don't even care whether my chanting is happening? But if I am caring for it, I am remorseful, then the holy name will descend. And when we serve Vaishnavas, then the holy name will descend. Holy name will choose to descend when we are want to serve Vaishnavas. So we cannot force the holy name to appear. We can only build a vessel clear enough for him to reside in. So this is a point. And repentance is not a temporary phase. It should be a permanent state of heart. Although God is present in every living entity's heart, only a repentant person can actually feel his presence. Offense and love cannot remain together, and we should feel very uncomfortable until we have envy. Conscious recognition of our offensive nature is very essence of bhajana kriya. So we are all in the state of bhajana kriya and anartha nivritti. The pain of this recognition is the evidence that the heart is finally softening. So when we are recognizing the anarthas, we should know the holy name is having some effect on us. So that is the criteria. So now Prabhuji's class will start. Any questions, comments on this till now? We'll go for 10 minutes. If no, then I will take the purpose. No questions, comments? Okay, we'll end here then. Thank you all very much. Okay, Shakti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. 1 minute,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I audible now?
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, recently my Periyamma passed away. They have converted to Christian. They are also like saying like we have to accept Lord, then only we'll go like Ekatva. So what is the difference, Prabhuji? We say Krishna, ultimate supreme personality of Godhead. We have fallen into the category of bhakti. They are also saying like that. Where they will go, how to make them understand, Prabhuji?
Actually, Christianity is very close to our philosophy, Mataji. It is closest of all. They
Okay.
also have single God, love of God, everything matches. So many things matches with us.
Okay.
What is the difference is because they keep Lord very far above the sky, above the clouds, he's somewhere very far. To develop a relationship with him, to develop love is very tough. But for us, na, Lord comes, descends, performs leelas, and we can establish a relationship. So that is the main difference. This is from Abrahamic religion and Vaishnava Siddhantas, is that we can develop relationships with the Lord, which is not we can develop relationship with the Lord, which is not available in other philosophies because they keep him very far. Oh, he created this world and he left us for suffering, and he's somewhere there far above the clouds enjoying. So how can I develop a relation with him? I try, but it is very formal relationship. It's not very loving relationship. When he comes to this world and he performs leelas and he is there in the form of deity, he is reciprocating with the devotees. So then we know, okay, he cares for me, he's here. So the relationship is much more easier to be established here. And another thing is, if you make him too close, like Mayavadis, you and I, Lord are one, then also there is no love possibilities. And if you don't have reverence, then you become Sahajiyas. So all these dangers are there. But the most important thing is, for them to develop relation now is not possible. For us only it is possible, because that understanding they don't have. Lord comes here, performs Leela, they don't know only.
Yeah.
And to make them understand, don't try it. You tell somebody who is not connected to anything, it is easier. If they're already fixed in something, we cannot waste our time on that. Means somebody can come, but it's a little tough with them.
Wow, such a wonderful explanation, Prabhuji. Like in a gist you gave, what is the difference between Sagajias, Mayavadis, and us? It is so clear, Prabhuji. And where they will go? There is a separate place Krishna created for them. There they will go. They will have Jesus like
No, if
they
they
will have
are, if,
relationship there.
no, no, no. See, if they are in Sattva they will go to Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvaha, Madhya Tishtan Jagannath. Christians, some nuns are there, some fathers, something are there. They are uh, they are actually going to heavenly planets if they are following a sattvic life, rajasic life. So Krishna is not telling, oh, you don't become Krishna conscious, I'll send you to hell. No, this Sattaguna, the Urdhangachan Sattva is applicable for everyone.
But
If they have lived
basically,
a very
that
pious
they
life,
are
they'll go to heaven.
they
Yeah.
are not following that Karuna rights. First of all, they are not even in the four pillars of Dharma that they eat non-veg. That Karuna is not there, no, Prabhuji. How to understand? See, you always say no, like if now someone do not follow bhakti also, they have to follow at least dharmic life. That only will
No,
make
there are
them.
some Christians who always are praying, they're very repentant. There are pure devotional symptoms also you can see in some of the people in Christianity. That is also there. It's not that there are no pure devotees. There are also Saint Francis and other personalities. They have all the, if you see this Trinadapi Sunichena, they'll properly follow this shloka also. They give respect, they don't expect anything in return. All the symptoms we can see. Only thing is they don't have that relationship. That prema cannot come for them because they don't know the person with whom they want to develop prema. So they will be elevated to heavenly planets. Even if they are, some of them they are eating meat, but they have followed a very sattvic life. It's not a problem. They can go to heavenly planets also.
So, can I understand in such a way that they eat meat without knowing that it is harming?
Means they are not
They
into,
are
they are
like,
not very,
yeah,
they
their
don't
food is like
understand
that.
they are not cruel. They don't understand they are not cruel. Some little punishment they will get and they will go to heavenly planets like that if they are sattvic. If they are rajasic, they will remain in the earthly planet realm, and if they are tamasic, they will go to lower planets like that.
See, even if they go to heavenly planets also, Prabhuji, if heavenly planets,
Like I'll give an example. I'll give.
Indra will be
Oh,
there, Brahma will be there. Like how they will, how they will go there? I'm unable to understand.
it is not like that. I'll tell. See, anybody practice sattvana, consciousness will elevate them. Like say now, if a Christian preacher is there and no, he sacrificed his life in serving the poor. He did all sorts of things to help people who are in trouble and counseling. This that whole life he spent, but whole life he was eating meat also because
Okay.
he did so much of sacrifice, lived very clean in terms of his character and other things, and he has only helped others. He didn't live any selfish life. But he don't know that meat eating is wrong, but he ate. Now should he go to heaven, upper or down? We should know. That is first thing. So that person will be elevated because he lived a very selfless life, but he don't know about meat. That was not known to him anyway. Now, as soon as your consciousness elevated, you get connected to these people. Then you don't feel, "Arey, I want Jesus only." No, they are not having any that. uh, that type of feeling, because Jesus Christ came from Brahmaloka. At the best, they can reach Brahmaloka if they're really devoted to Him. Prabhupada says Jesus Christ came from Brahmaloka, so they can go to Brahmaloka and be with Him. He must be one sage there. So, and or they can go to heavenly planets if they don't have personal relationship, but they have lived a very pious life. They'll go to heaven and enjoy. They don't mind there. I know they say, okay, I go to special place, some heaven, and there are people dancing there, and there are nice people. So it will not be a problem. Like suddenly we are taken to some place and which is very beautiful, nice people are there. We'll also not mind. This is good only.
Okay. And then long pending one question, Prabhuji. Like always sages followed not eating meat, or in between it has been followed, Prabhuji.
When like Kshatriyas, na, they do some sacrifice, and no, we hear about Ilavala and Vatapi, where Vasishta comes and sorry, Agastya comes and eat Vatapi. So there were eating non-veg also. It was not all the time, but they had an ability to digest. It's not just digesting; it's a karmic digestion, also consciousness, also digestion. So both are there. So Kshatriyas also ate, sometimes Brahmanas also ate, but in general, but they had the capacity. Like Vishwamitra Muni, he eats a dog meat. When the Chandala says, "Why are you eating it?" He says, "I am Vishwamitra. No, I do good to the world, but if I don't survive, I cannot do any good. So I have a power to digest it. That's why I can do digestion in the sense of his consciousness will not get contaminated, and he can overcome that reactions of that eating also. So both, so they have that power for digestion, then you can do it. So it was not, see, what counts na, you are ferociously eating morning breakfast, lunch, dinner, and trying to enjoy and not caring for the pain of animals. That is not their mindset. So then they will not get much reaction. But here, people, when they are doing it, is completely in tamoguna, so they have an effect. So it is not coming in between. It was there in the beginning also. People were not doing any himsa, but if you see, there are sacrifices of animals, and then there is all these things are there in the scripture. So we hear that the king son, he went and he ate the meat in the forest, and then they when he brought, and then they saw the meat was contaminated. How can we offer? Then the sage is cursing him. That means they ate, na? That is
Okay.
the point.
So,
But now people, they justify, they are eating, we're all sitting. Array, they can digest, you cannot digest, you will go to hell. That is the point.
okay, from the class and this question answering my question, Prabhu, I understood that more than what we do, our attitude matters a lot.
Yeah.
So we have to be keep our attitude nicely. So
Yeah.
why we are not doing, and in what circumstance we are doing, what is our internal mood towards that thing matters a lot.
Yes.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Right. Srinivas Prasad.
So yeah, I just wanted to inform that there's a question in the chat box. Just wanted to
Okay.
inform.
Okay, I'll take questions from the chat box. What are Shastric definitions for Papa and Punya with reference? Any activity, if we do, I like, I don't like, it is Papa. Yashastrabhin Utsijha Vartate Kamakarak. Nasa Siddhim Avapnoti Nasukam Naparam Gati. Yashastrabhin, if you are not following the Shastra, Utsijja Vartate Kamakaraka. You are doing out of your mentality. I like, I don't like. This is called sinful mentality. Punya is when you are doing according to the Shastric injunctions. And that's what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. Just follow whatever is given in the Shastras. You follow, you will be elevated. If you don't, if you do according to your own whims, then that is sinful activity. And nasa siddhim avapnoti nasukam na parangatim. You are not going to get any siddhi in this life, after this life, and now you will be unhappy also. So that is the definition. So, so there is a question. I am experiencing that more than ego, my lust make me offend more. The vasanas are the bodily, mental, and intellectual level. Would you please consider sharing something that would help address this? Lust is because we are identifying with body, that is ego only. Because of ego only lust comes. So the root is ego. I identify with my body. Now, because I am body, I have to satisfy my body. So for that, I start acting. So then comes the lust. If I don't identify, will I please other neighbors' children? Will I go and give them gifts and spend money for them? No, I will not do for them. But for my children, I will do. Why? First, ego is there. My children, my house, my wife, my husband. Because it is mine, then I start working for them. Then I start want to fulfill the desires. Fulfilling desires is lust, right? So why I am getting the desires to serve my family, my children, my wife? Because the ego is there. I am identifying with them. If I don't identify, I will not serve them. So from ego comes lust. So vasanas are actually at a level of uh, they they are they are the personalities. Our ego and manas are formed because of our identification with body.
You're not audible, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So this is the point here. Like our ego, how our ego is formed because of the sanskaras we have made, like marriage sanskara. When all the people come and then they'll bring one boy and girl together, and they say now they'll do so many rituals, and they say now from now onwards you are wife and husband. So immediately boy becomes husband, girl become wife. How did they become? The sanskaras are formed, the impressions are given with all the rituals and all, and then the ego is changed. So ego is formed because of that sanskara, right? So the ego of wife and ego of husband, how it came? Because they performed all the rituals. Many people came, they did all these ceremonies and all. So immediately that impressions created the ego. So sanskaras create ego. And the manas, how our manas is formed? Manas is also like that only. I like, I don't like. From where you like, where you don't like. Because when I took something, I felt some good experience, then I started liking it. And the same thing, I like some situations, some places we don't like because we have already experience of that. Oh, no, 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 no. Rainy day, not good. Why? Bad experience. Sometimes rain, oh, rain is very nice. Good experience. So our manas is formed because of our impressions only. So like that. Our buddhi is also. So all these things are found because of buddhi is because we are training it, giving knowledge. But ego and all this is found because of our vasanas, right? And how to have satsanga in every day, where to find like-minded people. You are attending everyday class, this is satsanga. And here all the people are doing the same. They say we should not take God's name in vain, but we take Lord's name every moment. Whoever says that we should not take Lord's name in vain, we should ask them why they are giving such advice. We should we should do it all the time. Maybe they understand that we should not do it in offensive way. We should be respectful. Maybe that they mean. Another question is how can they go to heaven if they don't even believe in Vedas? That is not Krishna's criteria for going to heaven. Krishna never told you believe in Vedas, you will go to heaven. Urdhvam gachanti satvastha. You live a sattvic life, you go to heaven. That is the criteria for going heaven. And their understanding of heaven are significantly different. Yeah, it may be different, but that does not matter only. What matters is what type of life they live. That is the criteria Krishna is giving, not our criteria. They eat cow also. If someone has gone to heaven, at least cow shall be respected. Yes, yes. See, it is not that if they have lived, both will happen. They will live in heaven for some time and go to hell and suffer also. Both can happen. Like we hear the story of King Nriga. Nriga did so many pious activities that he can live for a long, long, long time in heaven. And he did one wrong activity, offended Brahmanas. For that, he has to become a lizard. So, if they are doing wrong and right, they'll get both results. If they have eaten cow, they'll go to hell and suffer for eating cow. And after that, they will go to heaven and enjoy the results also. Both are possible. Yeah, in 10 commandments, it is said, do not kill. What is the difference between man, buddhi, chitta? Where does impressions get stored? Yes, this is a different topic. We'll take the questions. Yes, uh, Deepa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji,
Then,
what is the destination of Mayavadis who are also Sattvic? What happens to them? Because I read in some purport, I remember that they go to hellish planets. But
their
could you please
attitude is offensive. That's why they have to suffer with this other attitude because they are offending Krishna. That's why they go to hell. Mayavada, Krishna Paradi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says they are offenders.
Hmm. Okay.
So they may go to lower planetary systems and they may sattvic because in lower planetary system also there are bilva swargas. You are
Hmm.
enjoying also and you are against the Lord also. Maybe the
So,
end of
so
the
not
they may go down.
necessarily hellish. The hellish is that 28 planets below the lower planets. They could also go to lower planets. Is that
Possible that
correct?
they can go and enjoy their yes. Or they
Okay.
may we don't know exactly, but they are not going to get anything good because they offended the Lord. They'll
Hmm.
suffer.
But they aspired for Brahmacharya. That's what Prabhuji had confirmed earlier. They aspire for
Brahmajyoti
Brahmacharya, but they
aspire is
never
not
get
a
it.
problem, but their offending is a problem.
Yeah, they never get it. That's what she said.
Yeah, they never.
Okay. Okay.
Sita Kamal.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Pranam. Prabhuji, you mentioned that the people, I mean, Christians and others, those who are living sattvic life, even if they are eating non-vegetarian food, so they'll be punished for that particular act for the non-vegetarian part, and then probably they can go to Brahmaloka or wherever. So, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
my thing is, we say that even if this compassion, as one of the Mataji's also mentioned, it's such an important aspect, but though they are doing it unknowingly, but that's still a big sin, Prabhuji. So, will they be just a minute? So,
They
that
will
means
suffer for
any.
that. They will. The reactions are for both. Now they did good, they'll get good reaction. Do bad, you get bad. Both will happen. Na? Why only bad should be given? Good should also be given. Na? If they have done charity, if they have done good activity, why they should not be given benefit for that activity? If punishment is given, you should give reward for the good activity also. No, both should be done. That's what Papa Punya is.
Right, right, okay.
Why
So,
only
Prabhu,
punishment? What about the reward part?
got it, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, that means any act, what if we are doing something unconscious, any sin that's done unconsciously, and sin, the same activity, it's a sin, it's done consciously. So, the reward will be different if
Yeah,
it's
if
done
consciously you do, you get more punishment
okay,
because it's
unconsciously.
attitude problem. Consciously doing sin is attitude problem. That's why you get more reaction for it.
Okay. And Prabhuji, you gave the example of Vishwamitra Muni that he was eating dog meat. So he said, I have to protect this thing, no, so I have to sustain myself. So he was eating just for sustenance, not for the sense gratification. No, if there was nothing else
Yeah.
was available, then only they were eating.
Yes, yes, yes. One time only he ate. There were 12 years, there was drought. That time he eats a dog.
So people, when we people then they don't read things in contextual part. They just would quote this example only, but the
And
background
lack
and the
of
context.
sincerity. Their lack of sincerity. If they are sincere, they will try to know the whole truth and understand in deep. They want to justify their own wrong things, then they search for something which will justify their, and because people want to feel that that goodness. Okay, I am not completely wrong. So they want to get that sort of what do you say, comfort in them. So like I am, say somebody is drinking. So now he will find out where drinking is told it is good only, light drinking is not a problem, everybody drinks. All these things only he will try to search. Will not search like drinking will cause cirrhosis and all these things. So, and when he sees that statement, he will show, see, drinking is not a problem. Everybody drinks. Light drinking is good. It is good for health. So many things he will try to justify his own weakness. So this is also one of the things. So it's not of it is lack of sincerity for the people, justifying their own wrong deeds. So then they will go to the Shastras and find all these things and they try to quote it to justify.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Pranam, Prabhuji.
So interestingly, nobody has questions from the presentation which I made. Not a problem. At least you hopefully you understood something. Thank you all very much.